The city of Valletta, in Malta, here in Europe. Valletta is arguably the beating heart of Malta, and the cultural hub has lots to offer tourists. Besides being the country's administrative and commercial heart, there is a strong focus on the arts and developing associated talent. With restaurants, cafes and bars for every type of visitor, as well as numerous interesting museums, Malta's capital is definitely worth visiting. Valletta's history is fascinating and has worldwide implications right up to the present day. Discovering this history at the various monuments and attractions includes museums, impressive cathedrals, palaces, battlements, and secret bases. Even if you don't care for history, you don't want to miss these attractions, which are splendid in their own right. Valletta has one of the most vibrant art scenes in the world. It hosts a range of festivals that support creativity in a variety of ways, including carnivals, music festivals, and art displays. The city is engineered for fine living. This includes lively bars, excellent restaurants, amazing markets, and nightlife to suit all tastes. Much of Valletta is historic, and the architecture is profound. The newer parts of the city make for a delicious contrast which must be experienced. The people are largely welcoming, and despite the range of activities and places to see that can make Valletta feel frenetic and busy, your experience can be very laid back. It is up to you. The capital city, packed with historical wonders and stunning attractions to see, Valletta is a great place to stay for a number of reasons. Being the capital of the island, you will find everything you need from high-end stores to local cafes, and from age-old attractions to modern wine bars. Valletta has it all. And since the city is quite small in size, you'll be able to walk everywhere you want to go. Walking from City Gate to the far end of Valletta at Fort St. Elmo is just a 15-minute walk. If you're keen to explore the rest of the islands, Valletta is one of the best locations to stay. With an expansive bus network, the main public transport hub is here, just outside of the city gate. Whether you want to grab a bus or a taxi, Valletta is a great starting point to explore the rest of the islands. You can get to know the country through its food and drinks, and Malta is definitely no exception. When staying in Valletta, you'll be a stone's throw away from the best restaurants, cafes, and bars the country has to offer. Low-priced local snacks, such as pastizi, can be found all around town, and there are many high-end restaurants and wine bars. For a true taste of Malta, Valletta is your best bet. Experience local city life. Valletta remained fairly local throughout the years, as accommodation is relatively expensive. Many locals still live, work, and shop in the capital, and you'll be able to enjoy a taste of local Maltese culture simply by looking around you. The people of Valletta are welcoming and will happily share their local knowledge with you. There are amazing boutique hotels in Valletta. You can even stay in some of the city's historic places. Do expect to pay more for this kind of accommodation. Around €100 isn't extraordinary. For culture and history lovers, Valletta is the place to be. With many museums, historical buildings, and exquisite architecture, Valletta is the cultural hub of the Maltese Islands. With plenty of places to visit, you surely won't get bored. Valletta is one of Europe's smallest capital cities, and you can comfortably get around on foot. Unlike many European cities that are a fusion of small villages, the city's layout is a convenient grid system, making it easy to navigate. The city is quite hilly, and even though there are steps and steep streets, you might want to consider other modes of transport to get around. If you do not feel like strolling through the streets, you can take an electric minicab to get around. These minicabs can carry up to 3 people and cannot cost more than €5 per trip. Hail one in the street or at electric minicab stands. Valletta does not lend itself to getting around by car. With limited parking space and both residents as well as business people driving around, driving in the city can get frustrating quickly. Many visitors that drive to Valletta use the park and ride in Floriana and catch a bus to the city center. The streets of Valletta, although tidily laid out, do feature steep hills. This, together with the lack of cycle lanes, doesn't make the city ideal to cycle in. While you can rent bikes near the city gate, keep in mind that traffic can get hectic and that it is inevitable to go up and downhill quite a bit. Another option is to grab an electric scooter in the city. Download the Bolt app Android or Apple to use the electric scooters or get a cab out of the city. Renting an electric scooter is easy. Find one